welcome to Bedroom Studio Corner. I am XD. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to a new video. And today I'm going to be talking about change in the producer community. And this is one thing a lot of people do not talk about, and it's another thing that people really do not feel they need to do in terms of their production. A lot of people have this thing of fanboyism where they do not want to change. When they get that one thing, they do not want to try other things, and that is a problem that holds a lot of people back. I know a lot of people that are still using older versions of FL Studio. They say that it's the best FL Studio to them, and I say, look, it's fine if that's the thing you want to use, but you cannot call it the best FL Studio there is, because FL Studio, when it gives you upgrades, it's actually giving you more than what you had before. So how can it be the best more than something that has more? You know what I mean? So this fanboyism is a problem that's not going to help you succeed as a business and as a musician. If there's anything new out there that you don't have, upgrade to it, try it out. If there's different options, try them out as well. It will help you in your music to become a better producer. You don't just have to make deep house only. You don't just have to make Afro house. You don't just have to make amapiano or hip hop or jazz or whatever it is you make. You can make other things as well. There is no rule that stops you from making other types of genres or using other softwares as well. Which leads me into the point of this video today. Today I'm going to introduce you guys to Ableton in case you've never used Ableton before. I'm going to give you a beginner tour to Ableton Live and show you how you can use it, how it can look less daunting, because I know when I started using it, it actually scared me. I was like, what is this? It looks totally different to everything I've ever used before. I'm like, how am I going to actually make any music in this DAW? But I have it open here. I'm going to show you a project that I made first that is out. I produced for Deep Console. It's on the album called Intuition. You can check it out on iTunes right now. The song is out. I produced this song in Ableton Live, mixed it and mastered it only with Ableton. So I'm going to start a series where I'm going to show you how you can use Ableton to make music in case you would want to have an alternative DAW that you want to use instead of FL Studio, because most of my videos have been about FL Studio, and I have some on Ableton as well, but I don't have like a beginner video on Ableton Live. So I'm going to start you from start to finish. So we're going to get into Ableton Live, and I'm going to show you how you can get around it and where everything is and how you can actually start a song in Ableton. Okay, now we're here in Ableton Live. Now the screen you're seeing right now is Ableton Live with the project I was talking about loaded in. So you can see here I have these groups. I have the first group that is just drums over here. If I can solo. So Ableton is more of a clip-based type of software. So I love that function because you can just arrange so easy and cut stuff out so easy and put it back in so easily. The arrangement for me is much more nicer than a lot of DAWs, you know, depending with how much practice have you had with it. But as I said, it's all up to what you feel comfortable with, what you want to use. And then I just have my bass over here as well, and I have my other instruments in this other group over here. So what I love about Ableton is that you can have groups in groups in groups. You know what I mean? You can keep grouping things together, and that is such a crucial thing in terms of mixing, because sometimes you just need to make things sound the same and just, you know, keep layering stuff together. And I have vocals over here that are in this group as well.
Going through emotions, I'm searching around. I'm searching.
So there we go. So that is the track. There's a lot happening here. It's such a busy, you know, project because it's a huge project for me. It's a really great feature. Shout out to Deep Console. So now let me reset all this and open a new live set. I'll just say no over here. And then I'll show you how you can start with Ableton Live. Now, when you open Ableton Live, you'll get to this page here. And this page is the one that actually will confuse you, and you won't understand what's really happening if you look at it. Don't mind this orange rectangle over here and over there. That's just my, that's just the that's just my launch pad that is being picked up over here. So you know, you can select the stuff. So if you don't see that on your Ableton, don't worry, it's just the connection with my launch pad. But this is the mixer. It sends you straight to the mixer first, and you can see you have your fader here for your audio, and you know, you also have the MIDI track, but nothing is loaded on the MIDI here. And on the left side you have your browser. This is the browser over here where you can pick up your sounds and you can pick up your effects and everything else, and you actually pick them up from here and you drop them there where it says drop an instrument or sample here. So let's say if I drop this here, you'll see it just dropped this clav over there. So now when it's dropped, it gives you the settings of the sound that I dropped here. So that's how you do that. And you can also drop effects over here as well. Like if I go to audio effects and maybe add a filter, I just drop it in front of my instrument, and then my filter is there. So then I can just start filtering my sound. So on the right side over here, you've got your A reverb and your B delay. Now these are send effects. These send effects are the same as in the sends I always show you in FL Studio. It's the same thing. They're just over to the right side. So now you can start to actually see similarities between Ableton and FL Studio. It's just that it looks different as a whole because the graphics are different, but it's more or less the same thing. So that's why sometimes people are turned off, because it doesn't look like the way the other softwares look. It's got more of a simplistic look, much more than all the other stuff, because you know, they add more graphics, but Ableton is really minimal on the graphics and on the eye as well. You know, I actually believe it makes it easier on your CPU as well, because it's not trying to show off anything, but it's just giving you what you need as it is. So okay, we have our reverb there, we have our delay, so that's A and B. Now if you want to send it, like for instance, I have this instrument loaded here, and your sends are just right here on your mixer, just over here. If you want to add, you can just raise the A. If you want to add the delay, you can just add the B. So that is fairly simple. That's just on the tracks here, and you have your master track here. If I click on it, there you can see I can add effects on the master track here as well, and you've got the fader over here. So that's basically the mixer section. So if you want to switch to the arrangement side, you can go here in the corner over here. You can see these stripes over here. You can just click on the other one, and the horizontal stripes are the arrangement tab, and the vertical stripes are the mixer. So that's how you know what is what there. But you can also just press tab to switch between both. So now we're here, now we can see our arrangement. Now you've got a metering up top here. These numbers are the bars, just like in the FL Studio arrangement. You can also see the bars from 1 to 5, you know, to 8, and you can keep going. So it's you can just use this little selection tool over here to select how many bars you want to work in, where you want it to loop. So I can choose 4 bars over here, and that's where it's going to loop. But for it to loop, I have to make sure I activate the loop function on it. I have to come up here on this little loopy icon over here, and I press it and I activate it. It will activate loop, so it will only play over here. So we don't have a step sequencer in Ableton Live like we do in FL Studio. So do not expect to see a window with a step sequencer where you can load your drums and stuff like that, but you only have the arrangement. But I'm gonna get to showing you how you can start programming either drums or piano. So now we've got our 4 bars selected. Let me actually pull it in to just 1 bar to make it much more simple. Then I'll just zoom in here and show you just 1 bar. Okay, so this 1 bar represents, let's say, our pattern, our first pattern. So if I want to load something in here, maybe I can just load some drums. Then I can go ahead to drums, and I can pick maybe like a 909 core kit. I can just drag it and drop it where it says drop instrument here, or I can drag it and drop it on the track that says MIDI, the first track, number 1. So when I drop it there, it's gonna open up the core kit, and you're gonna see this down here, and this has your sounds. Like if you play through these, you can see your sounds. But wait, this is not where you program your sounds. You have to program in here in the arrangement window over here. So what you can do is you can just select these this bar over here and right click and go to insert MIDI clips. So remember, I told you this program is clip based. So you have to be adding clips and clips and clips to your arrangement in order to get it to work. So now you can just double click on that, and then you're going to see this piano over here, and then you can raise and zoom up and give it more room so that you can see everything inside here. So you can see all our drums are laid out here. If you click, it won't play. That's because this little listen button is not activated. So if it's not on, nothing in the piano will play. If you don't want anything to play here, then you can switch it off just like that. So I'll switch it on. Now I can play my stuff. Now from here it's easy. All you just have to do is double click and add a note. Then I can double click again, add a note, and I'm going to add 4. Then I can just press play. Then now I have me a little bass drum beat. Now let's just add a clap. There we go. Now we can add our hats. Now when it comes to adding a lot more things, there's a very good function that is kind of like a copy and paste, the same as we do have in FL Studio as well. But what I like to do is I like to hold Control and then click and drag. That's how you can actually copy. So you can also select again, hold Control, click and drag, and then you can actually just duplicate instead of having to, you know, click in all those notes. There we go. So the same applies to other instruments as well. Like if I go in here and then I choose, let's say I choose just or that sound there, I'll just drag and drop it over there. I'll just add a clip, insert MIDI clip, and then the piano rolls there. Then I'll just double click a note, and I can actually increase the length of this note. And if I want to turn this into a chord, I can just hold Control and then drag down, and then I have another note. Hold Control and drag up again, and I have another note. There we go. It's actually starting to sound like a nice track. So this is the basics of Ableton. This actually took me ages to learn because I was like, yo, I'm just gonna figure it out. I'm not gonna watch a tutorial. I'm just gonna have fun with it and whatever. But sometimes you need to try out stuff and actually have someone to teach you these things so you don't waste time and kill your own creativity and your will to create because you're not trying out stuff. If it looks like it's hard, look for someone that can help you. Look for someone that can do it. Don't be afraid to try new things because you do not know what's gonna help you and what's gonna make you a better producer. So if it's plugins, if it's software, if it's any genre that you want to make, I encourage you, try it. Don't get discouraged that you cannot make it off the top of your head, because no one can. Someone actually has to teach you, and that's the point of us being a community, is sharing what we know. Other people are good at Reason, other people are good at Ableton or FL Studio, but it's all up to us to get together and help each other with all this knowledge. Some people are good at different VSTs, some people are good at Nexus, some people are good at Massive. It's all different, but as a community we need to get together and share all this information, and that's the point of this channel. So I hope you find this video very helpful, and if you want to see more videos on Ableton Live, just let me know down in the comments. Leave a like if you would like to try Ableton Live, and also leave a like if you are using Ableton Live, so I know that I can keep doing videos on Ableton Live. If you have any other DAW that you want me to try out as well and show you how to use, let me know also down in the comments. And that's it for this video. I am X and I'm out. I will see you in another video. Peace.